As a strike wave sweeps the country, there's a major election underway that could have huge consequences for the labor movement. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters is electing new leadership. The election will determine how the Teamsters move forward in an era of renewed labor militancy. It will also change the course of labor's efforts to unionize Amazon and build political power.
My name is Sean O'Brien. I'm President and Principal Officer at Teamsters Local 25 in Boston. I am running for General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters on the O'Brien-Zuckerman 2021 slate.
Steve Verma. I'm currently the International Vice President for the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, and I am currently seeking to run for General President to replace Jim Hoffa, who is retiring.
The Teamsters are one of America's largest and most powerful unions. They represent more than 1.3 million workers across the US and Canada, including freight drivers, warehouse workers, and the workforce at UPS, one of the largest unionized private employers in the US. Teamsters General President James Hoffa Jr., son of notorious Teamsters President Jimmy Hoffa, is stepping down after more than 20 years at the helm of the union. Two candidates are running to replace him, and every member gets a vote.
The Teamsters Union is one of the very few unions whose constitution even provides for members to vote on their top leaders. So the process is rare among all labor unions, and what it does is it gives the members an opportunity to speak to who should be the top leaders of their union.
Steve Verma's Teamster Power Slate is endorsed by the outgoing Hoffa administration. Sean O'Brien's Teamster United Slate has the support of reformer movement Teamsters for a Democratic Union. In the last Teamsters election in 2016, the Teamsters United Slate lost to James Hoffa Jr. by a narrow margin of just a few thousand votes.
Well, what's particularly interesting to me about this election is that after decades and decades of organizing, Teamsters for a Democratic Union really have a shot at governing the union, that they have been sort of a voice in the wilderness for a long time and are now, in a sense, stepping up and taking control, or at least attempting to. And I think this is a really positive thing for sort of the labor movement in general, because it shows that if workers come together and demand accountability from their union, democratic practices, and organize to sort of put the power in the hands of the members, that can happen.
The issue of union democracy is critical in this current election. UPS is the single biggest employer of Teamsters, with 340,000 UPS workers in the union. In 2018, Teamsters President James Hoffa ratified a UPS contract that the majority of voting rank-and-file members voted against. That contract created a second-tier classification of UPS worker, called a 22-4, that has mobilized some to back the Teamsters United slate for new leadership.
So the 22-4, so that refers to the article in our union contract that has our job classification in it, Article 22, Section 4. And the way Hoffa and the UPS executive sold it was that it was a brand new job. You would work part-time in the warehouse loading trucks, and then you put on browns and you go out on the street part-time as a driver. That's how they sold it. What is it in actuality? You're a package car driver. We show up at the same time as package car drivers. We wear the same uniforms, drive the same trucks. None of us work inside the building. The only difference between us and a package car driver is that we get $8 less an hour, and for a concessionary contract to be forced on us 3 years ago, and then for the membership to vote it down, and for Hoffa to say, we're going to pass it anyways, we're implementing it anyways. That was a slap in the face to every Teamster in this country, every union member in this country, every working person in this country. And it's at that point that for a lot of us, it was the final straw. We had this entire regime had to go.
The UPS contract and other Teamsters history is being litigated in this election, as both slates are running on promises of growing the union and winning strong contracts.
I think the future of the Teamsters is what's at stake. It's not a matter of, tearing down our union to rebuild our union. We've done a lot of incredible things during the past 22 years. I'm proud of what we have done, what we've accomplished, and we need to build on that as we go forward. We have a lot of challenges coming up. We need to make sure that we have a team of people on this General Executive Board that work as a team to help transform us into the future.
Right now, we are starving for leadership in the Teamsters Union. In the last 10 years, our international union has negotiated substandard agreements, given concessions to our largest employers, have not grown this organization, and our leadership team visions and goals is to make certain that we're going to be here for another 118 years with the highest standards, with the highest conditions, with the best contracts, with the ability to grow.
While the Teamster United slate is running on the promise of more militant unionism, Teamster Power is running the most diverse slate in Teamster history and is also focusing on strengthening pensions.
If you've lived under a regime for as long as I've been a Teamster, it's a little hard to make change, but change is necessary. To me, it's kind of exciting. It really is, because we have a chance now to build, and to build with a diverse, not only in industry, but in culture.
I'm here to support, give Steve Verma, Herrera slate, the Teamster Power slate, my support. Biggest issue for me is pensions. So that's one of my biggest issues, because as I'm reaching closer to retirement age, of course that's a big deal for me and the rest of our members as well. It's our future.
The winning slate will lead the Teamsters in the struggle to organize Amazon and other new members.
One of the United States' largest unions is launching an effort to organize Amazon workers nationwide. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters, known commonly as the Teamsters Union, will vote tomorrow on a resolution aimed at building worker power at the online retail giant.
That's what I think the Teamsters are going to be facing, is how do you organize workers when you have so many who are considered independent contractors, like an Uber driver, delivering, packages for Amazon from their car. I've heard that there are 10,000 different contractors that have Amazon contracts, and so how does one organize them? Is that even possible?
Well, there's no secret that Amazon's going to be our most formidable opponent moving forward, not only just in the parcel delivery, but now they're in the food distribution ship. And I think, like the current administration and my opponent, who actually runs the warehouse division, that oftentimes we were reactionary, not proactive. And we need to organize Amazon. There's no question about that.
First of all, I think that organizing Amazon is a critical part of this union in going forward. We have currently established a program. We have established a division at the International Union that's sole focus is going to be on Amazon. It's a solid program. It's one that needs to go forward. And for the future of the organized labor, for the future of UPS, we have to succeed in organizing Amazon.
Each Teamster has been mailed a ballot, and votes will be counted in November.
Make sure you get out there and vote. Last election, only 18% of eligible voters voted. We need as many votes as we can get this time. If you want things to change, you have to get out and vote.
I believe the union has a voice, and I believe that we should speak out and determine who we want, to be, a leader.
This is my first time being in the union. I never had a chance to vote for this type of things in my job history. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna vote. I feel like it's a good idea to give us a chance to voice our opinion on our pay.